correct? And also, I want to understand: does the NRA conduct the CET for all government vacancy? Is that how it's going to work?
Yeah, national education policy is a separate thing, Ridhima. It has been basically to reform the basic education and the higher education. This is basically for NRA has been constituted to ensure a smooth process for recruitment into various central government exams, right? So the idea is really nice,
Correct.
where they are talking about one nation, one exam, but it is far from reality right now. It's a very great first step, but miles has to be covered right now.
Right. So you're seeing, of course, a step in the right direction, but of course, a long way ahead in terms of this implementation as well. You know, the last time around also when we were talking, we spoke about how this is going to streamline the process in terms of the students as well, for them also to have a single eligibility test, because it would significantly reduce the recruitment cycle as well. But Ravi, of course, all is great and optimistic when we see the idea and the intent behind it and how it is probably going to help in streamlining the entrance procedure. But do you then see any hurdles in terms of the long-term process? Do you think the understanding is probably going to be a little difficult and the transition probably could take some time?
Yeah, Ridhima, the last time when I appeared on the show, I started getting many suggestions that what I should have also discussed in the show, and this is a good opportunity I got again. Ridhima, the issue is that the announcement of NRA has come at a time when students are already in panic. I will take one more example, that RRB, which is Railway Recruitment Board, right? They notified for RRB NTPC exam, 18 months ago, and till now, stage one of the exam has not been, taken. 12.6 million students applied for the exam, but till now stage one has not been completed even. So the challenge what students are facing right now is that, first, NRA has been announced, more confusion has been added, because right now they don't know the syllabus, they don't know when exactly it will be implemented, they exactly don't know that what will happen to their stage 2 and stage 3, and considering the same agencies will take stage 2 and stage 3, how they are going to get timely results. So I would say it is definitely a long process, and I will definitely request DOPT minister and railway minister to look into the issue, that how these students, can be somewhere, given the right information at this time, so that they know clearly what is the syllabus, when the exam is going to happen. And I would actually require that a major reform should happen in the process, that we must tell a student, right, that when your final result will be declared, because I think this is their fundamental right, that they
Yeah.
should know when their result will be declared for a particular exam. I'm training a student, Ridhima, from last 6 7 years, and I have seen the despair,
Yeah.
disappointment, dejection of the students, right? What trauma they go through in the preparation when results are actually delayed, right? They don't know what to do. They spend a lot of time and money in preparing these exams, and then so much great delay in the process, somewhere, takes away their life also. One more point, Ridhima, though, I am requesting
And
more
that's
and more
something
time.
similar that we've seen with the NEET-JEE exams also, where the anxiety of the students, some of the students, has resulted in extreme steps as well. And that's simply because, one, there was lack of clarity whether the exams will actually happen, whether they'll actually be postponed, will the government actually have a rollback. Similar, is a concern that you're highlighting as well. Ravi, lastly, before I let you go, I have to ask you this. Of course, the idea is great, but I also want to understand, with the time, do you then think the time was correct to bring this in at a time when we were in the middle of a pandemic, when we were already having a transition from the physical classroom to the digital world? A lot of things were changing, a lot of things were in the gray area. Do you think probably we should have waited, for this academic year to be over, because a lot of classes are not happening, students are not appearing, some students are also dropping out? Do you then think the impact would have been much greater if we implemented this in a normal academic year?
Ridhima, I would say that, announcement is not a problem, right? The problem is lack of clarity. The announcement is causing confusion what to do, right? If this announcement would have been clubbed with a specific, that when it will be implemented, what is the syllabus, how it will be conducted, if they would have given the clarity, right, confusion should not have been there, right? Indian students are very resilient, I tell you. I've seen their resilience. The only thing is that we should provide them information in a correct way and at the right time, so that there is no scope of any confusion. So I completely agree that there is no harm in announcing the policy at this time. I say it is very laudable step, right? Sooner or later it has to be announced. But what is important, if we would have announced them with more clarity, right, that would have been great. And I request to HRD minister and
Correct, correct.
other ministers to come up and clarify to the students as soon as possible, right?
Okay, I think that's very important. That of course the implementation is great, the idea is great, but you need to have some more clarity in terms of the communication to the students, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who will be sitting for these examinations, and they will be anxious to know what the process is. I'm completely out of time. I'll have to leave the discussion there. Ravi, thank you so much for joining us here on India Ahead. With that,
You're watching India Ahead.